Hello everybody, hope you're all having a good day. In this video I wanted to give a bit of an update and talk about my brand new bike. This is the Triumph Tiger 900 Rally and I barely picked it up this week. And while this video says it's the first ride, technically I did a ride yesterday, but it's close enough to a first ride. There's only 300 something miles on it and yeah. It's brand new, and so far I'm really enjoying it, and I wanted to make a video talking about it, and why I bought it, and just of my first initial impressions and what I like about it. So, let's do it. Now, doesn't that just look beautiful? I think this bike is absolutely gorgeous. It's one of the reasons why I decided to pick it, but definitely not the whole reason. And I will talk about those reasons as I'm riding up this road right behind me. So this is it's Monte Cristo Road, and it's Highway 139 in Utah. I can't quite remember, sorry. But anyways, it's a nice, fun, easy little twisty road that goes high up into the mountains. It is closed halfway through, however, because it is still springtime and there's still snow up in the mountains. So until it's open, I can only go, part of the way. But in the summer, and if you stay tuned to this channel, I'm gonna ride the whole thing and I want to show it off because it's a beautiful road and it's a lot of fun to ride. Anyways, I'm gonna hop back on the bike and talk to you some more while I'm riding. Before I show you the rest of the mountain road, let's rewind back to the day before, the actual first ride of this bike. Welcome to the West Desert of Utah, where I am joined by my good friend Mitch on his Triumph Scrambler 1200. It is a place filled with long, empty stretches of road with high speed limits, as commonly found out here in the American West. The bike felt right at home in a place like this, and I expect it will see its fair share of roads, just like this one, on my future rides. That triple-cylinder engine roaring under the seat took no effort to get up to speed, and if I were to flip it into sport mode, I'd be breaking some speed limit laws without realizing it. Speaking of modes, there are a total of 4 of them: normal, rain, sport, and off-road. And if you get the Rally Pro, you get 2 extra modes, Off-Road Pro and User Mode. This is a first for me. My previous bike, and my first bike, was a 2019 Honda CB500X. This Triumph, for me, is just my second bike. So just keep that in mind with the rest of the review. I don't have as much experience riding all sorts of different motorcycles other than the ones that I've tested before buying my first bike and before buying this one. So, back to what I was saying. This is a first for me when it comes to riding modes. And so far it's been really cool to be able to kind of tailor the bike to a different riding situation and to where I'm riding and the kind of terrain or environment that I'm riding in. So I'm excited to explore that further as I learn this bike more and ride it more to see how the different modes make the bike feel differently. I was particularly interested in the off-road mode because that's the one that I feel like I will be using the most. Riding through the long stretches of desert has really shown me how comfortable this bike is. Take a cushy seat, a commanding, roomy seating position, a very useful windscreen, and a wide enough front end to keep me in a nice, calm cocoon of air. But that's not all. 2 of the most important features I wanted on a new bike were cruise control and heated grips. It's amazing how much more comfortable a ride can be when you can let your hand off the throttle and relax it for a minute, when it's safe to do so, of course. This ride in the desert lasted for a few hours, and at no point did I feel any kind of weird pressure or discomfort on any part of the bike as I was sitting on it. The only thing I did change after this ride was the position of my rear brake pedal. It was a little too high for my touring boots, so I lowered it a little bit to make it easier to slide the foot on and off of that. Beyond that though, it was incredibly comfortable. It was a huge step up from my previous CB500X. It has way more room in the back of the bike, so I can put more luggage back there. I can put my camera bag back there without having it poke into my back. And just overall, it felt really good. and it felt really stable at higher speeds. Even when it was a bit windier, I can feel it just staying still. It was going where I wanted it to go. It didn't wobble, it didn't vibrate or anything like that. And speaking of vibrations, before I bought this bike, a few reviewers pointed out that it does feel a little vibey on the highway or in certain roads. I did not experience that. There is a bit of vibration getting up to speed. Once I got up into higher gears, however, and started cruising along at a consistent speed, the vibrations became pretty much unnoticeable. And those heated grips I mentioned were wonderful. After this ride, I was riding home, it was dark, and turned on the heated grips. My hands felt nice and toasty, and I'm excited to have this feature because while it's hot here in Utah in the summer, sometimes, you know, it still can get chilly, especially later at night, or if it rains, or higher up in the mountains. So I'm very excited to have heated grips, and I feel like they're going to be a very useful feature on future rides. After cruising through the desert, my friend and I decided it was time to break the monotony by veering off to a road that led us to an obscure little mining town riddled with old mining memorabilia. And on the other side of town was a dirt road. Here, I thought would be a good time to try off-road mode, even though this road probably didn't justify it. I didn't immediately feel too much of a difference until I hit the brakes and felt my rear wheel lock up, which did give me a bit of a scare. That's something I'm going to have to get used to and work on in the future. Once we were back in town, we took a small break, and Mitch found a message in a bottle hidden in an abandoned, I'm assuming it's a mining cart.
It's got seashells and there's like something written in it, so I'm not one to invade someone's privacy, so.
Once we were done carefully placing that bottle for its intended recipient, it was time to head back towards Salt Lake. Now, let's take you back to the mountains. Like I said earlier, this is Monte Cristo Road, and it was a great place to see how well this bike does in the twisties. And the mountains of Utah are full of them, so this is something very important. The Tiger 900 Rally inspires a lot of confidence going into the corners. I feel like I could whip this bike around with minimal effort and it would easily go where I tell it to. Managing the speed going into the corners is helped with those massive Brembo brakes, and changing gears is made easy with a slipper assist clutch. I also really love this TFT. I do wish I had a few more things it could show, like a compass and just a few extra things, but you can add a lot of extra features by buying the Bluetooth module from Triumph, and that's something I really appreciate that Triumph did with these rally bikes. If you don't go with the Rally Pro trim, which basically includes everything, you do have the option to buy most of the accessories that are included on the Pro for just the regular Rally. You want a heated seat? No problem. A quick shifter? You got it. Crash bars? Okay, they're available. The only two things that you'll be missing out on are the two extra riding modes that are found on the Pro.
Okay, so I am at the top of Monte Cristo, or as far as I can go, because right behind that trailer right there is a gate, so I can't go any further. But like I was talking about, further up, that is where the beautiful road is. Once everything is nice and green and blooming, it is absolutely amazing up there. But for today, this is as far as I can go because, yeah, as you can see, it's still pretty snowy behind me. So I would imagine the rest of the road is covered in snow in certain places. But anyways, so just riding up that road, the bike felt amazing. And I just wanted to talk about the looks of it real quick. Because look at this. It is absolutely beautiful. It comes in this nice matte khaki green that Triumph has. Got this beautiful headlight. And I actually really like that if I flip it on, it actually has a running light that pops up right here, If I start moving the bike or riding, put in gear, this light turns on. I'm assuming that's a safety or regulation thing. But at least when it's parked, I really love this little light that comes on. It looks really cool. Got spoke wheels, Brembo brakes, Showa suspension, front and back. I think front and back, maybe. That beautiful little trident underneath. I love how that looks. I do want to get a skid plate for it and crash bars, but I don't want to cover up that exhaust manifold right there just because it just looks beautiful. I love how it looks. It looks just mean. Got the dual radiators here as well, which I think look fantastic. Pretty awesome seat, pretty comfortable. You can lower it up and down a little bit if you needed to, so it's nice to have that versatility. And this is what I was talking about while I was riding. There's a lot of extra room back here on the pillion compared to my old bike, so I can put my camera bag just across this way, have a little bit extra room here, maybe strap on a tripod. And when I actually start doing longer trips, have plenty of room for a top box back here or a longer duffel bag, just throwing extra stuff in the back. I think overall that it's going to be very nice to have. It is brand new and it's only my second bike, so I'm probably a little bit biased, feeling like a little kid that just bought a new toy. But you know what? That's okay, because it is a brand new toy and I'm happy I bought it. So that's the bike. That's the beauty of it. A little bit more detail. Hopefully that was good. Like I said, I'm still trying to kind of figure out exactly how I want to present this. So for now, we're going to do this. Maybe for when I do the longer review after my big ride, I'll try something else, try a different format. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Anyways, I don't want to be up here too long. It's a little chilly too. So I am going to hop back on the bike and head back down the mountain and then enjoy the road and the what little views we have here for now. Anyways, back on the bike. All right, back geared up. I'm not used to the height of this thing, and I'm not the most flexible person, so I kind of have to stand on the peg there to get on, especially if I have something on the back of it. Probably should work on that a little bit before I do anything too crazy. All right, time to head back down the mountain.
Now before I wrap up, I just wanted to let you know what else I looked at before buying the Tiger 900 Rally. The other motorcycle I was considering was the Africa Twin Adventure Sports. I thought a bike with a big fuel tank that's bigger and heavier would be something I would absolutely love. But to my surprise, I was wrong. It felt too big, too heavy, and compared to the Tiger, I didn't feel like I could throw it around as much. It did have a lot of nice features for not much higher of a price, but the weight, the handling, and the size of the Tiger eventually won me over. So, those are my thoughts so far on the Tiger 900 Rally. I'm excited to take this bike on all sorts of rides over the summer, and I have a good feeling it will serve me well for years to come. Overall, it's a fantastic, comfortable, well-balanced bike with plenty of power, and it can definitely handle a good adventure.
Okay, I'm back down in the beautiful Ogden Valley. As you can see, it's a lot more green here, a little more lush. Winter's kind of fading a lot faster here than up in the mountains. So that pretty much concludes my short little ride and this sort of first ride, first look, first whatever video of my new Triumph Tiger 900 Rally. I want to do a longer video later on after my long trip to kind of get a better feel and let you know what I think about the bike after doing a long trip on it. And I'm excited to share with you future rides that I'm going to do over the summer, both local and the one so far planned long one. So stay tuned for that. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And for me, I'll go get some dinner. Anyways, peace out.